Nigerian Association of Dental Students, NADS, has condemned the University of Calabar's decision to transfer over 300 dental students to other institutions due to over-admission. In a statement dated July 11, 2025, NADS described the action as inhumane and totally unacceptable, warning that it risks destroying the future of affected students. The association said many of the students have spent up to 8 years in training only to now be told to transfer or quit. Victory Ochoa, NAD president at the University of Benin, called the move an administrative failure and urged the university to reverse the directive immediately. We reject any suggestion that these students should bear the consequences of the institution's negligence. The statement read, the association urged the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, the Nigerian Dental Association, and federal ministries to intervene urgently, as at the time of this report, UNICAL has not issued an official statement.
Interesting.
You know, oftentimes the system we see is reactive rather than proactive. What are your thoughts on this report?
Well, they've been given two options, right? To either transfer or quit, right? So
why is quit even an option after 7 years?
That's why it's sad. That's why it's sad. The option should have been just to transfer, because I know that when I was at school, right? So we had some departments that were not fully accredited by NUC.
Okay.
So what they do is they give them temporary approval to operate that particular department. So then in due course, once they meet all the requirements, they now give them full accreditation for those departments.
Right.
So I think as when they started, they gave them temporary approval, and then they did not meet up with the remaining prerequisites for full accreditation. Do you understand? So once you don't meet up, no matter how you try to cajole your way and do all of that, you won't get the full accreditation. So, and I think for this decision to come up, to an extent, they usually have council meetings. Right. So in council meetings, that's where they now deliberate on courses to be embarked on by the school, and then ways on how to get accreditation from NUC.
Why did you need to take 7 years?
That's why it's crazy. You know, because of 7 years, you know, we have vice chancellors, and then to the best of my knowledge, currently now, they've been given a 5-year tenure. Previously it was 4, and they've added 1, so it's now 5-year tenure for all vice chancellors, and you cannot rerun. So once you've done your 5 years, it's okay, you can go home. You get bastard. Before it was 4 years. So, you know, some of these vice chancellors, they have different areas of interest, and then same thing too with registrars,
right,
and then bosses and all of that. So they have different areas of interest. So if a particular vice chancellor was on seat as at the time pursuing this full accreditation, and then it will not get expired, and then we have a new one, you know, the new one will not have to revisit what has been done. Do you understand? And
so what then is the plan of continuity?
If you ask me, I don't know. Really, I do not know, because I don't. This 7 years is enough time, you know, to pursue full accreditation, because this course is a major course in a high institution. So you can't tell them that, you can't say that the students, 300 students, should be transferred. And most times, what
school has enough capacity to even take 50 or 100 of the students off this burden of saying, well, we can't do this here, so you need to move? What school has, you know, 50 openings or 100 openings to take 100 students?
Well, you know, we have private universities, and then we have federal universities, and then state universities as well. So we have 3 higher institutions.
Right.
You get so, and then from the little I know that once a course is given accreditation, the NUC gives you a total number of students to be, you know, admitted into that department.
Right.
You get, and if, for example, they give River State University 100, it's not a must that they would fill up the entire 100. They might just do 80, because of those courses they usually have high cut-off marks. So if they can probably fill up like 70 or 80, they'll have like 20 left. So these small numbers, you know, put all the universities together, it can, to an extent, accommodate this 300, because we have private universities, and then...
The private universities, are they cheap?
They're not cheap.
So who's going to pay for that? Haven't spent 7 years already on this. Who is going to pay for that?
They are not cheap. They are not cheap. So that leaves us to the option of, you know, state universities and federal universities. And state universities are expensive compared to federal universities.
Education generally is expensive.
It's expensive, yes. I remember when I was in school, my school fees was 19,200. 2015.
You had a ball.
Indeed, I had a ball. It was 19,200, and then towards my third year, skyrocketed to 45,000. That was because I was
45,000 is skyrocketed.
Yes, now.
Do you know how much school fees is now?
That was because I was an indigene.
Right.
And then non-indigenous were paying, I think it is something there about, so it's double of what we were paying. So that's the problem.
Now, when you factor that in, and you're saying this, students should be moved to other states, are we going to factor in the expenses? Are they meant to bear the brunt of an institution of failure?
Just like they said in the news, it's their negligence. Negligence of the principal officers not to do what they're supposed to do. Do you understand?
So why are they being made to bear the brunt?
So this is where we have, I think this is where the NUC and then every other governing body that handles education comes into play. Because these are the future of young Nigerians, and then because of the the inability of the school to have full accreditation, now the students have to suffer for it. So this is where the government, in partnership with the NUC, comes into play, to forestall this issue that we're having right now.
Why do we always leave things till it gets to desperate stages before we call on agencies to take proactive measures? Why, this sort of things, why aren't they nipped in the bud before it gets to this point? 7 years is a long time.
It's a long time indeed. It's a long time indeed. But the thing is, like I said, it's interest. It's interest, honestly. It's interest. UNICAL is a very good citadel of learning, to be very honest.
Yeah.
And then they have lots of departments and then lots of courses that they're doing and all of that. But neglecting this, it's really not nice, to be honest. It's not.
Thank you so much for your insight on that report.